Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Ajay Official Live. In this video, we will be talking about countable and uncountable nouns. What are countable nouns? In the name itself, you can understand they are countable. Whenever you want to ask a question about countable nouns, you have to use how many, not how much. How many pens do you have? How many children do you have, like that? And we have quantifiers like a few, very few, few, many, a lot, some. These are all quantifiers and they are used for countable nouns only, not uncountable nouns. We also use articles a and an if you have one, and we use numericals like 1, 2, etc. When you have more than one, then you can use numericals. So these are all quantifiers. Let's look at examples. Look at examples. A chair, two pens, four fans, very few boys, a few girls, few students, many teachers, some politicians, a lot of poor people. When you look at above examples, you can notice quantifiers, articles like a and numericals 2, 4, and quantifiers a few, many, some, a lot. They are countable. We use singular and plural verbs. If the subject is singular, we use singular verb. If the subject is plural, then it is followed by a plural verb. It depends on the subject. It varies from sentence to sentence. So remember this. Whenever you want to ask a question about countable nouns, you have to use how many, not how much. How many chairs do you have? How many teachers are there in your college? How many politicians are there in your country? How many people are there in your country? How many girls are there in your class? How many boys are there? So don't get confused. We have to use how many, not how much. A few girls, many teachers, some politicians, they are countable. We can easily count them anytime. I hope it is clear. I am giving you examples which will help you to understand the concept. So try to use quantifiers to represent countable nouns. Don't forget to use quantifiers. They play a crucial part in countable nouns and uncountable nouns. For uncountable nouns, we have separate quantifiers. We are going to look at them, okay? Now, uncountable nouns, we cannot count them. So we use quantifiers like a little, very little, little, much, some, a lot. Whenever you want to ask a question about uncountable nouns, we have to use how much. How much water is there in your glass? How much information you have gathered so far? How much money you have in your pocket? Like that. No article is used, but we use the article that is the. If the item is specific, if any item is specific, we use the article the. It measures quantity. We use above terms or quantifiers for uncountable nouns to show how much. So don't get confused. For countable nouns, we have separate quantifiers, and these are all quantifiers which are used for uncountable nouns. Let's look at examples. Look at examples. A little water, very little salt, little sugar, some love, much freedom, a lot of sand. Above written examples are uncountable. We cannot count them. There is some water in your glass. There is a little freedom. Whenever I'm eating curd rice, I try to add very little salt. If I add more salt, I cannot eat that food. My mother uses little oil for cooking. I don't like to eat oil food items. That's why she prefers to add little oil for cooking. She doesn't use a lot of oil. They have a lot of information. So we cannot count them and we have no idea how much information is available. They have a lot of information. So remember quantifiers. They help you to identify, they help you to describe uncountable nouns. Don't confuse to use quantifiers. They are very important in order to describe countable and uncountable nouns. I hope it is clear. So you must be thinking, what is the difference between a little water and very little water and little water? So I'm going to make a separate video on them. Okay, there is a little difference between a little water and a very little water. So I will make a separate video on that. I hope explanation is clear. If you haven't understood the concept, you leave a comment. If you understand the concept, you try to leave a comment, so that will motivate me to make more videos. I hope it is clear.